They've gone tit for tat, so hopefully they can stop now. But I know both. We get along with both countries very well, good relationships with both, and I want to see it stop. And if I can do anything to help, I will be there.
Welcome back. That was President Trump today responding to questions about the mounting tensions between India and Pakistan, which escalated dramatically overnight as India launched missile strikes on Pakistan 2 weeks after a deadly militant attack on tourists in the Indian-administered Kashmir region. Massive explosions could be seen and heard in Pakistan as India's army launched its strikes targeting what it described as terrorist infrastructure. Pakistan says 26 people were killed and 46 others were injured, calling the attack an act of war. Pakistan also claimed it shot down 5 Indian fighter jets, though India has not responded to that claim and vowed its own retaliation. The two nuclear-armed countries have a long history of tensions and war, but the latest clashes have been some of the deadliest they have seen in decades. Joining me now is Ravi Agrawal, editor-in-chief of Foreign Policy magazine. Thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. Let's dive into what is at the root of these tensions. Can you help people understand how this began and why it's escalating right now?
Gosh, well, the roots go back all the way to the founding of these two countries in 1947. The most proximate recent cause, as you said, was April 22nd, this big militant attack in Indian-administered Kashmir. There are two Kashmirs. There's an Indian-administered one. There's a Pakistani-administered one. Both countries claim all of Kashmir. This has been an uneasy stalemate basically since 1948, when the two fought a war over it. They've since fought many wars over it and also had other clashes over it. But since they became nuclear powers in the 1990s, Kristen, those clashes have often been less intense, and there's been a greater likelihood of de-escalation, in part because of nuclear deterrence. This most recent flashpoint comes at a time when India has been trying to promote tourism in Indian-administered Kashmir. And so Prime Minister Narendra Modi is, this is a real blow to his reputation, and is part of the reason why India's tried to strike back hard. And they have gone further in these attacks deep into Pakistani territory than at any point since 1971. So this is very serious. Pakistan is likely to respond.
How are you anticipating Pakistan will respond? What is India bracing for, do you think?
So the response could take many forms. It could also take a lot of time. Remember, India's attack overnight came 2 weeks after the militant attack in Kashmir. By the way, Pakistan denies that it had anything to do with that particular attack. India says that there's a long history of Pakistani support for cross-border terrorism. But as we all know, history and the past is not proof of the present. So Pakistan says it has been unfairly targeted in this particular instance. There is one element here, Kristen, that could determine how this ends up, and that is the claim that you mentioned that Pakistan had shot down 5 Indian fighter jets. India hasn't commented on this yet. There's a history here of both sides making maximalist claims of damage and us not being able to confirm them. What is interesting here is that some of these jets are actually not Indian jets. They are bought from the French or the Russians. And in this case, there is a report that French intelligence says that they know one of their planes has been shot down. Now, if that is the case, India may feel that it also needs to up the ante here. Both sides are going to be looking for reasons to de-escalate, however.
Given the history of conflict between these two countries, given the tensions that you are describing now, how close is it perceived that these two nations are to an actual all-out war?
They are on the brink of it. This is a very dangerous moment. The one ray of light that I am seeing right now is that if both sides make maximalist claims of victory and deny the other side a claim of victory in their own domestic media, and these are fairly siloed media ecosystems with a lot of distrust for the other side. These are countries that are quite jingoistic as well, Kristen. If they are able to sell a victory, a win to either side, to their own sides, then that would allow them to de-escalate a little bit. absent here is a lot of global leverage that used to be there before. So I don't think the United States is a major player this time round, and it has been in the past. I don't think the United Nations has as much leverage as it once did. And India also feels less restrained than it did in years past, in part because it's now the 5th biggest economy in the world. And it feels that it has the room and the confidence to act in a way that it sees fit. It is also looking finally at what's happening in other parts of the world. Israel can defend itself, for example, after October 7. Why can't India?
Ravi Agrawal, thank you so much for your incredible insights and information. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.